So Nova, what do you think about the new rogue card? I agree. It's absolutely ridiculously broken.
Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in Hearthstone, the 31st edition of our weekly news recap series where we take a look at the news and events in the Hearthstone world in the past weekend. Well, we have some major stories to cover. Our top stories, you can tell by the title, is we have major details on patch 20.0 that will be coming out before the expansion launches with some pretty crazy updates, so you'll want to take a look at that. Our other top stories, there was a bunch of community outrage online over a bunch of layoffs and a big bonus to the Activision Blizzard CEO. We'll cover that. It's pretty controversial, but we'll try and give my reasonable take on it. I'll give you guys an update on the tournament that we basically fundraised through the Raid Shadow Legends downloads over the past week and what's going on with that, as well as the mailbag segment where I answer your questions. So let's get right into it. The big story, 20.0 patch is launching. We don't have an official date, but if you look at this out of cards article here, they basically comb through all these different blog posts. Blizzard posted a bunch of blog posts outlining what's coming up, and in the English one, it doesn't really state when it's coming out, but if you go through some of the other languages in the other countries, it basically hints at on the 25th of March, 20.0 will launch. So that would be on Thursday, and that would include the launch of Classic Mode. All the cards being reverted and unnerfed will be live, as I believe some achievements you won't be able to earn XP on the achievements for Dark Moon Fair. And then, yeah, basically before the expansion comes out, you're going to be able to play with your unnerfed cards. You're going to be able to play with like an unnerfed Arcane Golem in Standard, unnerfed Galakron Shaman in Standard for like a little bit of a week before the expansion completely officially launches on the 30th. And that's when the core set should come out. That's when basically everything changes up. But you'll be able to access Classic Mode a bit early, which might lead to some fun Legend races. Maybe you can try and get Legend before the month ends. It's going to be tough. I don't even know if you'll have a star multiplier to work with it. But yeah, this is not completely official. This is basically taken from the Blizzard blog posts and with the best ability of from what I could see on Out of Cards, from what I've read, that looks like it's probably going to happen. There are some people that are speculating it'll launch on the 23rd, so maybe that'll happen, but from what I can tell, 25th is the date to look out for, and it should be pretty cool and exciting because this ladder meta has been absolutely stale, and we should have nerfs to go with it. They did say 20.0 will have nerfs, so I expect all that stuff to get announced probably later today after like the big reveal stream that goes on later today. Next story is the online outrage that occurred with the recent Blizzard layoffs and some stuff that just didn't look very good. So if you aren't aware, there's about 200 Blizzard Activision employees laid off. Most of them were around like their esports division. I believe Hearthstone had around 50. We talked about a couple that happened already, like Abar and TJ Sanders. And basically what happened is, well, the whole online scene has changed with the whole pandemic, with everything going on, that a lot of it's in-house now. Like there's not going to be as many events because, well, the whole world has changed. It's all taking place from home. So a lot of these people are just, they're not needed anymore. And the big outrage came out when people saw that they were laid off. They were given a severance package and Blizzard gift cards. Blizzard gift cards for around $200 credit. So it's like, oh, they got laid off, but here's some money to go buy some of our products. It didn't look great, but if you look at the details, outlined by, I believe, this Bloomberg article, they got 3 months pay and health benefits for the 3 months. That's for a layoff package. That's very good. That's pretty solid. And you know what? The economy changes, things change. Unfortunately, jobs become redundant. That's the reality of the world. It sucks they got laid off, but yeah, people are outraged about the gift cards. And the other part was Bobby Kotick. Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, took out a $200 million bonus, a bonus that goes to his wallet. And it feels pretty bad when you do that after you've laid people off. I know investors apparently weren't happy with it. He's done this before. I believe in 2018, they recorded like record profits and then laid off like 500 people. It's just what they do, and well, what he does, I really think it looks bad and awful, but that's CEO stuff. That's what they do. They don't really give a damn about the little people. It's all about lining their own pocket, and I think that's pretty crummy. It's pretty awful, especially during, you know, a pandemic times where people are suffering and working for you, and you're just gonna pocket that. So that's the thing I didn't like. I thought that was pretty crummy, but again, you might not care. It might not be a big deal to you, but I thought I report it because it does affect the Hearthstone world and Hearthstone employees as well. Next, we have the tournament update, and in case you didn't hear in one of our videos, I gave this update already, but yes, we hit the Raid Shadow Legends downloads. We needed 90. We got like over 100. You guys are insane, so thank you for that. That means everything is funded. We'll be able to have the $1,000 prize pool tournament. We're gonna make it a wild tournament to keep the tradition that Solemn did last year as like the spiritual successor to the Wild Open, and it'll be open to everybody. You'll be able to participate, but again, it'll take a while to get everything worked. We got to get people like admins working on the tournament, setting up all the structure. I want the new expansion to come out, settle down a little bit, so I'll make an announcement about it. It'll probably be late April, early May that it happens, but again, myself, Solemn will be casting. We'll have other people involved, and it'll be open to everybody, so it should be a lot of fun, and it should involve NA and EU servers as well, so try and include as many people as we can. And again, this week, we're not going to do a meta update because, well, there's just nothing changing until, you know, the nerfs come out, all that new stuff comes out. So again, we're not going to bother. So let's take a look at the mailbag where I answer your questions. Again, if you want to ask me a question, leave a comment in the comments below with mailbag in the comments so it's easy for me to pick up. So let's answer your questions. Alex asked me, I like the name, Alex. We might have something in common, if you know what I mean. What are some of your favorite films of all time? So I'll just list off like 5 here. No particular order, but just films that I'm really passionate about. For me, and it's very cliche, it's like #1 on IMDb, but it's for good reason. That's Shawshank Redemption. It's a film that just truly inspires you. It's all about hope. And what better message can you send than hope? And it's a prison film. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman are absolutely amazing. Frank Darabont is just ridiculous as a director in this film. It's perfectly shot, perfectly acted, perfectly scored. It's like the perfect length. It's based off a really good Stephen King short novel that I really feel they improved. I've read it, and I felt like the movie is one of those rare exceptions, just better. And it just makes me feel amazing to watch the film. It inspired me to love film. It's the first amazing film I ever saw, and just inspired me to just watch other great films. And I guess in that vein, I'll also mention Sideways. This is an Alexander Payne directed film starring Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church. It's like a road trip movie where throughout California, where basically it's Tom Hayes Church's character. He's getting engaged, he's getting married, so last hurrah, and it's just a great dark comedy. Really just hit home with me. It's a beautifully told movie. It's hilarious. It's just awesome. I really recommend it, and it's one I never hear people talk about these days. The Godfather 1 and 2, because whether The Godfather 1 and 2, absolute perfect classics. Marlon Brando in the first one, unbelievable. De Niro in the second one, awesome, portraying a younger Brando, and as well, of course, Al Pacino is a powerhouse throughout those. Just ridiculously good. Leon the Professional is another standout. Luc Besson directed, starring Jean Reno and a very young Natalie Portman. It's basically a hitman who kind of adopts a young girl whose parents are kind of killed, and you got Gary Oldman as the villain who happens to be a cop, and it's just an amazingly beautiful told story. It's basically a French film because it's all French people and Jean Reno and Luc Besson, but it's done in New York. It's all in English, and it's just a phenomenal film. It's like very tense, good action, but most importantly, just amazing drama and just an awesome flick. And I'll leave off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. I just love a good Western, and Sergio Leone directed, Clint Eastwood starring. You got Nino Morricone doing the soundtrack, which is just phenomenal. It's just so much fun. I love these the Man with No Name trilogy, and the good, the bad, and the ugly is just spectacular. I love watching it with my dad, and they're just so good. They're such good movies, and there's a whole lot of lists. Maybe one day when I do my other channel, we'll go more into it, but you can tell I kind of love my movies. M. Lentini asks, will there be custom card reviews in the future? So we have done custom card reviews. We've done like 4 or 5. We did them back last year, and was before the whole battle pass thing blew up, and then I just got completely caught up in everything, and I just haven't got back to it. You can see here, I have this Discord. You can check out the Discord where we have people sharing custom cards to this day all the time. And yes, I will be doing some more, likely shortly after the expansion launches. I've been neglecting this for far too long. They're a lot of fun to cover, so there will be custom card reviews just hopefully in the next few weeks or so. Danny Kavanaugh asks, how many days per week do you play Hearthstone? Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for that. And well, I stream 5 days a week, and I typically play 6 hours of Hearthstone, 5 to 6 hours during then. I also play Battlegrounds all the time when I'm either editing or hanging out on other streams, and I'll play like Wild Ladder or a bit of Ladder off stream as well, because I just like playing Hearthstone. So I'd say probably 6 to 7 hours on average through those 5 days, with a few hours spread out. So like 40 to 45 hours a week. I play a lot of Hearthstone. That's why I'm max level 350 on the Tavern Pass and all that. I play it a lot. I'm passionate about it. And for all the people that say I just hate on everything, find me many people that play much more than me. I don't think you're going to have much luck on that one. The Big Dog asks, how did Nova enter your life? I'm not sure if I've answered this. I may have before, but Nova entered my life as I was with my girlfriend. Her cousin passed away, and we adopted Nova from that cousin. And yeah, Nova's been in our life ever since. And well, she seems to be a bit of a weekly occurrence on This Week in Hearthstone now. And then Joris asks, when does Nova get her own section where she can tell what she thinks about the current state of Hearthstone? Well, Nova, I know you don't like talking when you're sitting in my lap, so let's put her over there and see what she has to say. So Nova, what do you think about the new Rogue card? I agree. It's absolutely ridiculously broken. There you have it. That's This Week in Hearthstone. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.